Hello everyone and welcome to the first session of Market Update web series by EdgeH India. My name is Madhur Jain from EdgeH India team and I'll be your host for the day. I'm excited to be with you while we make this new beginning by bringing market updates. We've created this knowledge sharing web series to celebrate 10th anniversary of EdgeH India's service to the home industry. Today's topic of discussion is how to find opportunities in the post-lockdown threats to your business. As I speak, many more attendees are joining us from various small and big cities and towns across the country. Now I would like to invite Mr. Arun Rungta, Managing Director, EdgeH India, for his opening remarks. Welcome, sir.
Hello, good morning, everybody, my friends. It's so nice to talk to you after 7 months. I'm sure we are all trying to wake our spirits and get back to business. So I'm very happy to be with each one of you. I think I know most of you personally very well. I'm really looking forward to see you also in person as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we thought we will take this initiative, we will start connecting and businesses start looking at things in a more positive mind frame. Accordingly, we took this initiative, so inviting experts at a regular frequency so that they can share their experiences, their knowledge on what's happening in the market currently. And we have tried to bring in different kind of experts from manufacturing to retail to branding, from houseware, home textiles, home decor, because now, as all of you know, the businesses are moving towards complete home, from just being home textiles or home houseware or home decor. This has been also the philosophy behind EdgeH India itself, that consumers are now wanting solutions for their complete home when they walk into retailing, irrespective of whether they're buying through online or an offline store, or a large format store or a specialty store. So I personally am very positive, very bullish. We do see that post-corona world is going to be a world of challenges, but within those challenges, we do see a lot of opportunities. And this is how the world has always been. After every challenging phase, there has been reconstruction, there has been a new era. So what that new era would be, I would definitely leave it to our speakers. We have Rajiv with us today, an old friend, an old hand, I would say, at the home textile sector. So today's presentation is, though Rajiv has been an extremely good marketeer across the board, but his experience has been primarily in bed and bath sector. So we would go through the presentation today, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. It will be stimulating and inspiring both for the audience today. And we look forward from here to doing great business together, I suppose, in the days and weeks and months to come. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm pleased to share with you that we have 1,000 people registering for this presentation today. So from all over the country, which includes retailers, manufacturers, brands, across the board, from across the country, and also some of the international audience have joined in. So over to you, Madhur, now to introduce Rajiv and take this forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rungta. And now, I'm pleased to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Rajiv Merchant, President Retail, Indocount Industries Limited. Mr. Merchant is responsible for Indocount's luxury bedding brand, Boutique Living, in the Indian market. Indocount is amongst India's largest exporters of high-quality bed linen. With an experience of over 3 decades, Mr. Merchant pioneered modern design and marketing concepts in the Indian bed and bath market and has introduced memorable brands, winning retail concepts, and innovative product lines. Before I hand over to Mr. Merchant, just a small clarification on your questions. If you have a question for our speaker, please feel free to send it through the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. We'll be answering questions towards the end of this session. So without any further delay, please welcome our speaker, Mr. Rajiv Merchant. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Madhur. And good morning, Arun. I think it's been my pleasure to be here with all of you. I think I may not know as many people as Arun would know, but probably I would at least know half of you. And I think would have met in the last HGH, that is about a year back or more than that. And still, I have fond memories of Home Fashion India Week, which used to be organized, and we used to have very good knowledge sharing sessions. So I look forward to this new initiative by Arun, and happy to be part of the first one. So I'll start my presentation. Few things which I might like to add. I think some of you have gone through my earlier presentation, which I did to few of you. I think there is a 10% common, so please pardon me for that. Secondly, I think what I've tried to do is take a knowledge base of a strong manufacturer like Indocount in the bedding segment, as well as talking to retail friends like all of you and consumers, learned quite a few things, and I'm happy to share my compilation with all of you and take it forward. I'll start with okay. So this is the subject of my presentation: unlock the brain, unlock business opportunities. I think to unlock the business opportunity, first of all we need to unlock the brain, and we have been clouded by so many news is coming from TV channels, WhatsApp, and all that. I think we need to take a pause, think over what is right, what is good for business, and take forward. My presentation is divided into 4 parts. I'll go quickly considering the time limitation. One is the disruptions from COVID, two is consumer, three is houseware retail, and fourth is recovery. That's what I'm looking at. As I see, most of you are a retailers of offline community. This is more dedicated to all of you who are selling low and medium value houseware products. I am sure others can tweak these ideas and make relevant to them and work out the strategies which could be best for them. So let's start with what is the disruptions from COVID-19, and that's understand that. So as we see, it's a world scale disruption in unfolding in front of our eyes. Many changes and challenges are expected. Fear of mortality is real. We are worried we may die tomorrow. And the way we see, like a sci fi movie, the world has become one grand experiment of which all of us have become subjects. So, like you see some science movie and your experiment is being done on you, that's what's happening now. And after series of lockdowns and restrictions, we have been asked to learn to live with Corona. I think that's the reality. Why it is bad? What is so big? So the first point is it's a universal phenomena whereby there are going to be problems of demand, problems of supply, and problem of finance across the globe. So I think we don't know when consumer will come back, how much she will buy or he will buy. We don't know whether we'll get the goods what we want for that consumer. There are going to be supply bottlenecks, and obviously there are going to be finance bottlenecks, which would be there because of clogging of system in last 6 months. How has it changed? I think normally science talks about time and space. So I think if you look at a dimension of time and space, first of all, time, there's a shrinking gap between weekends and weekdays. So like many retailers and e-com players, they tell me the difference between weekend and weekdays have vanished. Maybe a lot of people who work, for them also the difference between weekend, weekdays, morning time, evening time, night time, I think those concepts have gone. Similarly, space. A lot of people have gone from metro tier 1 to, let's say, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 hometowns, and from there working, they are working from there, and that's a significant change. It's going to lead to changes in our business. So I think time and space both have changed. What is most critical has been what's affected is the closed spaces, whether it's a restaurant, movie theaters, etc., where there's a major issue of COVID fear, and that's where you need social distancing and mask. On the other hand, if I may say, I went to Juhu Beach on Sunday morning, I saw a humongous crowd over there. Or if you go to any resort, villa resort uh, over there for a weekdays, I think they are running full, whether it's a weekdays or weekends. They are booked for 6 months nearby Bombay. That's the reality. So what are the disruption we have seen? Because for me, COVID is only last disruption, but there were many more which we have been facing. It's a series of disruptions which are affecting our business cycle. The first disruption came from policy led. So there was a demonetization 4 years back, then GST implementation, and now problems of import based businesses because of various reasons. One is obviously we want to make in India and vocal for the local. Second could be exchange rate. Third could be you have travel restrictions. And fourth could be long working capital cycle of import based businesses. So all put together, I think there's a lot of change which we expect. Secondly, I,
Sorry to interrupt, but I think you're not audible to many people. So
okay.
can you make your volume little control?
Is it better?
The audience will tell us, because we got these notes that you're not audible to many people. So,
So is it better?
yes, yes, good.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. So I think first was a policy level impact, which was started with demonetization, then GST implementation, and finally issues have been cropping in import-based businesses. Second is I think competition is of completely different paradigm. The way our friends in Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Ola, they have started the technology companies. They have brought a lot of efficiency and transparency into the system, and they are reducing margin by acquiring customers. They are going to stay, and we have to figure out a way how we can acquire new customers and how we ensure that our customers remain with us. I think that's the major change which we were facing prior to COVID, and we continue to face the same today. I think we went through one crisis of NBFC, and as I see the way corporate is going to perform in the last 6 months, we can expect another NBFC plus banking crisis in very shortly. On corporate side, we see decline in revenues, job losses, salary cuts, cost cutting, supply chain challenges, and now inflation because the supply chain is disrupted. So everything is going to cost more. That's the reality. Our consumer has got fear psychosis because of media, WhatsApp, and whatnot. And there's a real decline in the consumption. Economy is on the decline. I think the GDP report of April to June was 24% decline. I would only say that please treat this report with care. When GDP has declined 24%, I would expect home houseware category would have declined by 50%. Similarly, within houseware category, some category would have declined by maybe 60, 70%. So I think we need to be cognizant of differences within those numbers, take into our stride, and work out the real strategies through which we can work better. So we've been hardest hit in I think last 30 years from 91 when I think liberalization started with Dr. Manmohan Singh's government. I think we have always seen upswing, and this is the first time we are seeing a major downswing in our market. Having said that, has it been so bad? Not really. I think it's a mixed bag of performance and impact. So let me start with the performing sectors. So if I see my friends, I think FMCG, electronic, durables are performing well. Even durables are, I think, out of stock. There was a lot of dependence on import, and that having a problem. They were out of stock. I think services business are on course. Of course, the major driver has been digitization and information technology. But even apart from IT services, there are other services which are still doing well. If you look at the macro data which is coming through, chemicals and pharmaceuticals are doing well. Infrastructure would do well with the government investment. When I speak to my friends in Goodless Nerolac, Sierra Sanitary Ware, or Ultratech Cement, I don't see them to be so badly affected. For me, if somebody is like large companies is achieving 80%, I think that's a good performance. I'm not saying everybody is back to 100%. That's not the point. But even at 80% for a large company and for luxury lifestyle category, 60% plus so far in August is a good performance. Houseware has been good, but that I'll discuss later. In apparel industry, particularly kids wear, innerwear, leisure wear have been performing. I think rural demand is performing because agriculture has been good and rural market has been good. Some export businesses, especially like textiles, have been doing well, and you can expect some short supply in the coming times because of a huge demand which is coming from across the world, huge pent up demand. Other positive factors, if I look at a company specific, retail specific, I see a lot of people have reached the lowest level of inventory in their life. I think that's a significant change, and I think you have achieved a very good efficiency. And our consumer, on the other hand, has increased inventory at their homes, which is also a good sign because they see shortage in the offering, so they might like to stock more. So I think you have cleaned your system in your lifetime, probably for the first time, like never before. Secondly, we have learned, all of us have learned to live with a cost reduction. So we reduce our salary costs, advertising costs, rental costs, admin overheads. I think that has worked very well in the favor of the business. Thirdly, I think efficiency. I think India is known for a poor efficiency parameters across levels. And today, I think we have learned to live with very high efficient mechanism. And just to give you a few examples, I have a friend retailer who used to employ 40 employees over two shops. And he tells me that I had to work with six people. And see, I knew I actually now have a confidence that I can manage with lower number of people. And going forward, I'll not have more than 20 people in my system, and there are many such examples. So I think even former RBI governor, I think Raghuram Rajan made a point that Indians have first time realized how to work efficiently. I think this is a very positive change which we have learned. Let us take in our stride and make our business better. On the other hand, if I look at underperforming sectors, I think travel, hospitality in a closed space, travel accessories are bad. So like airline, hotels, or maybe travel bag companies like Samsonite, I think they are badly affected. And open spaces, the movie theaters or restaurants where you have a lot of people in one particular basket are not doing well. Real estate will continue to perform bad, but there's enough estate inventory which will take shape of occupancy, which will increase the occupancy and will have some good demand for my furnishing friends, because eventually if the real estate inventory which is lying idle, if it comes in action, I'm sure there's a good, I think, demand for all of us in the times to come. One of the major sector of apparel lifestyle was apparel and personal accessories. They are not doing so well, and some of the services are not doing well. So these are the negative sectors. I think what's going to escalate is credit recovery. If some of your customers may not pay on time and cash flow might be affected, there have been losses during lockdown, so somebody has to finance the same. There are supply chain challenges. You will not get some goods what you want on time. You will have enough inventory, but you will not get what you want. I think that's something which you need to be very careful about and plan your business suitably. And lastly, corona cases increasing and second wave expected. So if I look at a mixed bag, even if 20-30% of business is impacted coming to quarter two, that is July to September, I think it is not bad. World has not stopped. India has not stopped. There's a life which you see everywhere if you go out. And I have simple requests. I think we need to reduce watching maybe TV and maybe reduce believing some of the WhatsApp messages. I think if you go out, you will realize it's not just the end of the world. That's what I would like to say. And there are hopes of resilience, which I can see. Uh, Taking from other positive factors, I think India is back on its feet. offline retail in houseware category, strong players, most of them have been performing at 50 to 70% level of normal sales in the month of August. Online retail in houseware sector is above 150%. And as I was talking, there's enough crowd on open spaces and consumption is happening. Lastly, there are no major business closures except the businesses that had issues pre-COVID. So I think if you look at a majority of, I know of only one company, maybe franchisee of Samsonite closing maybe 130 stores, and they will be opening maybe 30 plus stores. Rest of it, I mean, this is also I heard from my friends, but otherwise I think it's been probably all of us are extremely agile, smart entrepreneurs, and we have figured out how to survive despite facing so many odds. On the other side, I think India is a young country. We have 65% population below 35 years of age, and COVID impacts the least to this community, maybe less than 60 years. Our death ratio has been the one of the lowest in the world, and there's a major opportunity. Largest percentage of population of millennials in the world. So we are 34% people, about 44 crore people are millennials. They are part of the workforce, and that is making one of the most attractive market for the future. I'll speak about them in a separate slide. Other good thing which is happening in India is Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are all vocal for the local. I am sure lot of manufacturing will lead and lot of new jobs will come up in a medium to long term. These are 2 to 10 years perspective. Obviously, there's no relief immediately, but I think that's going to make India as a very good market. I have only one suggestion to my friends who are into import-based businesses. Please set up a plant in India. I am sure you will do well. This is the, I think there's enough and more opportunity in the future. The other good thing globally happening is liquidity, increase in liquidity through US policies. And Indian government is supporting business with all kind of loans and funds, not exactly obviously cash loan, to ensure that we survive and move forward. So there's going to be a lot of support to make in India, and that's going to expand our market also. Lastly, I think innovation and agility. All of us have learned to reduce the cost, increase the efficiency. We have got a lot of innovations. So I was told about from a friend that a pub in Bangalore where they used to make a fresh beer has worked out a system whereby consumer walks in with the bottle, fills the beer, and probably keeps in the deep fridge for 48 hours and then consume. So I think everybody has figured out innovative solutions to survive in the business, and that's a good sign. I think we are a very very intelligent race, and I think we are a, in other words, we can say we are a street smart race, and which is very good at figuring out solution which are a short term base. I only would suggest that let's look at long term also, not just at short term solution to survive. I'll come to second part of my presentation, that is consumers. How are they responding? What are the changes in their behavior? So one, I think their consumption patterns have changed. They're time poor and they appreciate their own time and the retailer's time. Gone are the days where consumer a lady would walk in a mall for 3 4 hours without purchasing. Now, if she comes to a mall, she has a specific purpose. She will buy that. She will spend enough time. She will appreciate retailer's time and figure out a solution. And secondly, there's a frugality fashion which probably India was not used to. I think we are probably we come back to our old parents' philosophy that yes, you need to be frugal. We are all talking about thoughtful consumption. I think these are positive trends for Indian market. On the other hand, I think when consumer walks in, they want to buy good things. So their average sales price have gone up. So if I know of some of the retailers whose average sales price for a bed sheet was 750, it is 900 rupees per piece right now. Or maybe if the average tick bill value for transaction was 1500, it has gone on to 1800 to 2000. So I think consumer has saved a lot of money during the lockdown, and maybe on travel, maybe on restaurant, maybe on quite a few things. So I think they have more money available for consumption and they want to buy good things. And obviously, they want to go back to trusted brands where they probably, so people will go back to Amul or Parle-G where they used to trust. I think we also as a category need to build a lot of brands. But if a brand is not able to supply, I think they are all ready to change the loyalty, and online penetration is accelerated across categories. So I think that's part of our life. On the other side, apart from consumption, I think if I go to my left side of presentation, our media and communication habits have changed. It's a classic example. When we used to see do HFIW seminar, probably we would have 150, 200 people per person in physical. Today, we are talking to maybe 200, 300, 500 people across virtual platform where all of us have said significant travel time. Then our consumer who used to do hardly one Zoom call in a month is probably doing many Zoom calls per day, connecting with her friends, relatives, and whatnot. And this was supported by extremely good reach of 4G network across India and a very low cost. And that has led consumer with lot of information what they need to buy. Lastly, I think COVID protocol is in place, so we have to ensure that we take care of it. Health and wellness product will do well across categories, and survival is our default mode as we move forward. I thank Mr. Sitaram Kumar of Home Center to share these insights with me that they had done a survey of consumers who used to buy from them. As you know, they are probably the largest retailer of houseware category in India. They surveyed 3,000 customers, and what they were told was 75% of them are interested to buy home products before Diwali. And majority of customers, they want to come to the shops and they don't want to buy online. So I think that's the message which I want to give to uh, all of you friends, that I think today Shrads were over yesterday. It's a new beginning. We are heading into festive time. I'm not saying uh, probably you need to buy and be aggressive, but be careful and ensure that customers are going to walk in. Ensure that you have what they require and service them well. That's what I would say. I spoke about millennial segment, a promising segment for home in the making. Who are they? They are probably 18 to 34 years age group. They are 44 crore and they are part of the workforce. So majority of them are earning and making money. The sad part pre-COVID was that they were hardly interested in home or houseware category, because for them, their Apple, their car, their pub used to make a lot of sense to them, and home probably was bought as a commodity or probably were bought by their parents. Typically, that generation has seen probably death very close to their life, and the spirit is YOLO, which is you only live once, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा. So they are ready to spend more. They're just waiting for maybe markets to open up and have little more confidence. They will come back to buy. They are willing to buy home products which they were never interested so much in the past. So I think they will increase the consumption. Having said that, be careful. They will not buy what you want to sell. Understand them, offer them the right products, and I think they are willing to buy from you. It's a very good promising segment. They have deep pockets. Their impulsive purchase habits will make India as a very interesting segment again for the long run for houseware category. So let's work towards building a new products, new services, new philosophy, new concepts to woo them so that our business becomes better day by day. We come to the third section, which is houseware retail. What's happening in that? I have seen quite a good amount of growth. When I say unprecedented demand, I think we are saying a lifestyle category 60% and maybe essential category 80% plus demand. So if you look at home has become office, school, movie theater, restaurant, pub, and obviously home, and has corresponding led to demand for many new products. So it is not just WFH, that is work from home. It's also from DFH, drink from home, SFS, study from home, and so on. And there's a lot of demand coming in with a lot of things required at home. So I think I'll just talk about few categories in few moments. Just for your understanding, highest search in Google and YouTube during lockdown was the cooking recipes. Our customer, for them, home has become very, very critical. The other good aspect of our category is it has been underexplored area with a lot of latent demand for existing and new product categories. So I think many of you have traveled abroad, and when you see any shopping centers which are dedicated to home, they sell thousands of products, and there's a good demand. Consumers require them. If you come to India, we have been offering a very few products. There's a lot of demand from the consumer, but I think somebody has to invest in those products, educate the customer, and I think customer is willing to buy because they want more comforts at home, more convenience at home, and they want to enjoy great lifestyle of all-in-one home going forward. So I think there is a lot of latent demand which is expected. So I think my friends in Mintra, what they are trying to do is that they want, in, especially in home segment, not in other segment, they want to ensure that customer spends more time, learns about more new product categories, and that will lead to more sales for them in the times to come. Finally, what has happened is home products have jumped in priority in consumer buying. I used to tell that home comes maybe 10th or 15th rank after you want, let's say, essentials, food, your gadgets, and maybe apparel, accessories, movie, restaurant. And after that, finally, home category will start from 10th rank. Today, our home category has come to 5th rank because it is probably after essential food and work from home gadgets. The next is the home products, and that is going to be a lot of interest in home players. So other players. So I would only say that you will have a lot more competition, which may come in from international players, luxury brands. A lot of people are focusing on home segment, which was never a focus for many of them in the past. Some more data to support. I think in a consumer basket, houseware is about 2.7% of consumer wallet. So it's a very small, I think, segment which we are there. And primarily, it was largely bought when needed. We were anyway semi-essential categories. So I expect minimum disruption of demand. Yes, there could be 10-20%, but I think we are powerful enough to withstand such shocks and figure out a strategy to survive and grow the business. Within performing categories, home textile, if I talk about apparels, I think August month, you have bed and bath textiles which have performed well. Appliances are out of stock. Mattresses have been doing well. Kitchen tools, consumer wants new kitchen tools to increase convenience. Gadgets have been doing well. Storage solution, which probably did not sell. You go to a store like Container Store in US, you'll find thousands of varieties. I think it is probably getting attention of our consumers. Cookware, utility products, crockery. When you become a theater at home or a bar at home, recliners and sitting spaces have been selling well, and branding building materials have been selling well. I think that's a good part of home houseware category. The issues, I think this category is largely dependent on import and global supply chain, so that's going to be a problem. Expensive items are still selling slow. Expensive decor, and I would say that we have not branded them well, and probably they are going slow as we move forward. So I just wanted to give few tips to online offline retailers. I'm jumping from one to another just to save time from all of us and maybe share some learning and insights what I have realized. I'll be happy to have feedback from all of you, and obviously constructive criticism to improve myself is always welcome. So I think one tip which I would say is phygital is going to say physical plus digital will be way forward to service the needs of our customers. First point I would say is that build loyalty. All of you have nurtured very loyal customers over a period of time, and this our category is a touch and feel category, heavy and consumer all knowledgeable. If you ensure that you retain loyalty of your customers, then you will do well. There are different ways of doing. You don't need a significant technology. You can work without it and still make a loyalty program. I'll give you examples in the course of my presentation. Just to give you a small example, I have another friend retailer who sells to high-end customers in Bombay. So he tells me, many of my customers know each of my staff, and some of them they give a phone and tell, I want to speak to a specific person because he understand my requirement, and उसको बोलेंगे कि भैया मेरे कस्टमर बच्चों के बेडरूम का ये कलर है, तुझे पता है मेरे को क्या चाहिए, मेरे घर पे भेज दे. Imagine the kind of data mining, mind mining of customer that all of you have seen and nurtured loyalty of your customers. It's a time that you utilize in a more structured manner and leverage the technology by selling them in the shop, selling them at home, and increase your business in the times to come. The second part is the digitization. I think we have been all talking, and I know at least 50 retailers of you who are at least building their online platform to sell, which is a very positive sign. and I'm sure all of you will do well. I just want to add few things and put some ideas into your mind. I would say don't copy any pure online player. Go beyond that. What you should do is bring offline experience to online. What I mean by that? So if I give an example, today if a customer walks into home furnishings store, what does customer do? I think a salesperson will ask the customer, what do you want? And a customer will say, probably hypothetically, I want a bed sheet of double bed sheet set of 1500 rupees and beige and brown. Then the salesperson will use computer called human brain, figure out a solution and show 8 to 10 bedsheet sets to the consumer and ask consumer, do you like any of them or should I show you more? It's a typical offline journey of a consumer inside your shop. My question to you is, can you make it online? What I mean by that is, let consumer come on the app. Your same salesperson welcomes the customer through video call. Ask the consumer, Madam, आपको क्या चाहिए? When Madam tells, I want a beige brown 1500 रुपये की double bed sheet, then instead of a human brain, a real computer will process the data and give 10 solution to customer. Madam, I have curated the best 10 products available with you. If you want any more, I can show you. If you don't want more, you select any of them. If I can send it to your home and you can pay over there, or you come to my shop, I'll keep it ready. I'll give you an appointment. You'll not have to wait in social distancing and I will take care of your demand. I think this is going to be a way forward. Why I want to give this example is that all of you have valuable experience of customer insights and category insights, how customer behaves. So if you convert your experience, I am sure all of you have good advantage over pure online players. Just to give you an example of Singapore, I think Lazada is a pure online player, and I think FairPrice, if I'm right, then correct about the name, they are online offline players both. So customer always in a research told that somebody who understand offline business is doing better service than them and a pure online player. Even in India, if I see my friends who are having a good app like Home Center, Home Stop, they are talking about 100 to 300% growth on online business, whereas a pure online players, maybe the likes of Amazon, Flipkart, I think they're doing amazing job, but in our category they have 50 to 70% growth. I think both are doing exceedingly well, so I'm not saying one is good, other is bad, but my point is that use your consumer insights and category insights, figure out the right experience, you are on a great winning platform. And not only that, you'll acquire a lot of new customers, a lot of new catchments, your business would boom. Lastly, I think store hygiene is going to be order of the day. Take care of that, but have a credible salesperson and good sensory experience is going to stay moving forward. So I think these are the few tips which I wanted to give to retail friends who are into household business moving forward. Let me come to the last section, which is a recovery and opportunities. I think we had closed shutters and now it's time to unlock. All of us were in the factory reset mode. So when you get a new mobile, you reset everything and feed in the data. One of my friends sent me a quote called Good Corporate Bite. When God has given you a new beginning, don't repeat the old mistakes. I think history is going to be think of fast. Let's navigate the crisis with a day one mindset. Suppose if I'm starting a business today, how will I do it? Let us reimagine the future. And that will give you tremendous learning and positive mindset to take care of your consumer in the times to come. I think there are a lot of theories how the recovery will come. They say V-shape recovery, U-shape recovery, L-shape recovery, W-shape recovery. But to me, it's likely to be K-shape recovery. What I mean by K-shape recovery is strong players will emerge stronger and weak players will become weaker. So some players will go do very well, some players will do very bad. It's time of consolidation, correction, and competition. I think if you look at it, in BCG analysis, they showed 1 out of 7 company is expected to grow business during such crisis. So I think let's be one of the 7 and grow a business. And I think this is probably anti-fragile companies who will survive in this environment, those who can withstand tough environment time and again, become stronger, are going to do well. So I think this is going to be K-shaped recovery. Let's try to be in the upper curve. The second interpretation of the same, I would give it slightly differently. Large companies will survive with their distribution, finance, scale, muscle, and they might be able to survive, do well. Small companies will survive with agility, nimbleness, will do very well. I think it's a medium companies which are, you look at a funnel in the time machine, they are going to face the problem. So I'm not saying if you are in the medium scale, worry about it. I'm sure all of you are smart, intelligent to figure out the solution and probably look at the day one mindset, you would do well. We have a classic example, Taste of India, Amul. Everybody said glass has become half empty. They said no, glass is half full. They launched 33 brands in April to June quarter, which is normally they launch 10 brands per quarter. They took the opportunity, added new categories, and they expect this business to grow 15% in this financial year over the base of 38,000 crore. That's, I think, reported in the newspaper. And that's a significantly good way of looking at business in the times to come. Let me tell you, opportunity is not just for biggies like Reliance, Adani, and Amul with deep pockets and FMCG type of business. It exists at all levels. Let's apply our intelligence, experience, and creativity to find new opportunities. I think we can do it ourselves also. I'll take a case study who is one of us, must be present today also. Welcome Sanat Bhai and Sarvesh. I'll go a step backward. This was before pre-COVID. I'll take few minutes more. I think Arun will allow me, being a webinar, to have a little more time because I think I have some important learnings to share. So Arun spoke about houseware category becoming one. 6 years back, one fine day in a casual discussion over tea, I asked सनत भाई आपकी दुकान में 2000 चद्दर का स्टॉक है. If it becomes 500, will you lose the sale? Sanat bhai thought for a while and replied, obviously not. If I take good care of buying, why would I lose a sale? That was a trigger in his mind. Then I said, why do you waste so much space and money? Why don't you introduce new categories? He went aggressive and got all kind of crockery categories like home decor, crockery, storage, and everything in the space in the shop, and probably became a complete home store prior to COVID. That was the beginning, which helped them post COVID. And this, I would like to say that it is not, you don't complain that you don't have a space. I think all of you can figure out a solution. My friend Bharat Bhai in Mahavir store, Bombay, is a great houseware retailer. He's very good loyal customers. He didn't have space. Still, he tied up with somebody and started selling large durables during COVID and made good sales from them. So I think you figure out an opportunity. I think don't look at challenges to come back. Figure out a solution and move forward. Let's come to Viswas Textile Phase 2. I think when the lockdown was over in Chennai, first day they did great sanitization job. Father and son called 200 loyal customers and told them, we are COVID free. We have got everything from utility to bed sheet to everything. Please come. I'll give you personal service and we'll do sale. And they started selling on WhatsApp. They were the first one who achieved 50% normal sales within week one. First Sunday, I think that's the kind of sale they achieved. It's not that they didn't have any problem. They had all problem, consumer not walking in, etc. But I think they decided to take in their stride and move forward. I have another friend who used to tell me, doing so well, I'll not name right now because it's good to name everybody. But I asked him the same question, why did you so well? So he answered me very clearly. He says, I went very aggressive. I had a good stock. Third, he says that malls are closed, so customer don't have many destination. And fourth, some of my competitors have decided this year is going bad, so they are sitting home and they are doing nothing. Whereas myself and my family are working very hard to ensure that we gain the customer, and that retailer obviously gain 100% plus sale in all bed and bath furnishing category and knick-knack categories. Okay, coming back to Vishwas, phase 3. When everybody is worried about how to sell, they took a challenge because they realized media cost is at the lowest, consumer wants to buy. They gave 2 full-page advertisement in the last month. I think that is the spirit what you need. This is acquiring customer, building the business at the lowest cost is the time now. You took advantage of that. They did advertising on all categories. They reached 75% overall sale, and some categories are obviously at 100% plus. They were doing wholesale business, which actually I think has been operating at 150% because they realized that in the bedsheet category and mattress category, there are very few suppliers who have right stock. They started working on WhatsApp, booked a lot of orders and supplied. And other point is that the category which they started 6 years back has contributed 40% of the business. So if this category was not there in the shop, they were operating at 60 rupees sales instead of 100 today. Finally, I think as we speak, after a week, both of them are going to get award from Times of India as a best home textile retailer in Chennai. I think we were in the offline. If we were in offline webinar seminar, we would have a big clap for all of them. I think that's the spirit which is going to win. Let's build that spirit into all of us, work out our strategies, and do well. If we get time, I think I'll request them to speak 2 words after my presentation. And that's what I would like to add. Finally, what are the opportunities we have unlocked? I'll just put in slightly structured form. I think one is the replacement of imported goods, product levels. Secondly, a lot of data and demand which you can cater. I'll give another small example. When I started in bed and bath category 18 years back, one of the leading retailer in Bombay told me that double bedsheet 600 रुपये के ऊपर चद्दर बिकता ही नहीं है. आप जो भी हो इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड हो, आप जिससे ज़्यादा का मत लाना. The same retailer within 3 years started selling 3,000 rupees bedding bag, very like a, let's say, in a good quantity. So there was a customer demand. We as a marketeer and retailer didn't supply. So there's going to be latent demand for our category. Please explore them. You have a lot of new sales channels to expand your customer base like e-commerce, WhatsApp, e-catalog, video call, mobile app, Instagram, social media marketing, personal selling. I think a lot of people are going to sell. You can also sell. I can see a retailer in Bareilly selling a e-catalog to sell. That's a very good development in a country like India. You can acquire new customers from other retailers, those who are not performing. You can acquire new category customers like millennials by working out a specific marketing program. And finally, acquisition cost of all business inputs are low. Real estate, customer. You can spread your wings anywhere in the borderless world or within India and unlock the opportunity. I think you need to change the way of doing business. This was a great time which was given to all of us. 6 months thinking, analyzing time. I am sure all of you would have thought a lot about it. Start practicing, go step by step. I am sure you would do well. I think our audience comprises professionals with 1 to 50 years of experience in the category. I don't know, Vinayji Kochar is there. I think Bardina Textile, New Delhi, he completed 50 years in this September with Bombay Dyeing. And probably maybe Suresh Babu, Panchajanya Fashion, Jagdish ji. All this 1 to 50 years experience, I always felt that felt that this category gives disproportionate returns compared to the efforts required. Like apparel people were making more money, they are getting easy sales. We were not getting so easy sales. However, the story is about to change. It's a time to become forward look and strike and shine. I think 2 to 10 years, I'm medium term perspective, long term perspective. I think we are heading for a very good time. Lastly, it's not about going fast alone, but going together. Need to a partnership with relevant skill holders to make winning business. Whether 25-year-old large established company can partner with 3-year-old startup if the startup provides the good skills. The eternal truth, good brands, products, services require good retailers and vice versa to get consumers money from a consumer's wallet and not from each other. So let's stop negotiating and haggling with each other. Let's look at consumer and get the best from consumer. if I may say, time of arrogance has gone from either side. Let's be humble to our customer and get great money from consumers' wallet for business. I think that's where I would like to end. Thank you all. And I think if there are a few questions, I would love to take it. Uh, yeah, over to you, Madhur.
Thank you, Mr. Merchant, for your valuable time and insights on the current home market.
Yeah,
Let's take up a few questions. Our
sure.
first question from the audience is from Mr. Rohit Satra.
Yep.
To know can you please throw some light on the present or future competition with the bigger players like Amazon, Flipkart, Jio, and others?
So I think competition is going to be multifold. It's not just Amazon, Flipkart, and Jio. I think even IKEA could become a formidable competition over e-commerce business. Not just that, and let me give you another example. I see, maybe let's put it like this: my dozen of friends have lost their job. Two of them have started a curated online home products business, and they could be potentially competing with you. Okay, so competition can come from any small segment, anywhere, and we need to be prepared for that. I think all of you had a head start. You know the category, you know the consumer. I think you just need to know how to live and do business in a change world. You can still stay ahead in the competition curve. I used to always quote, I think this was a quote which I discovered in a seminar 20 years plus back from a PNG chairman. If you know your customer, you will never lose. If you don't know your customer, you don't deserve to win. Okay.
Very well said, sir. Another question is from Miss Sonali Bhandari.
Yep.
She wants to know about the houseware category. She says that online has increased and offline sales have decreased due to
Mhm.
restrictions.
Yeah.
Um, and this has caused a lot of clutter in the online space, in the internet.
Correct.
As an ace marketer, how can a small to a medium sized brand stand out in the internet space?
Great question, Sonali. I'll connect with you later, but just let me give you a few tips. Don't be everything to everybody. Start your carotid line and stand for something. I think there is a space for such players in the houseware space. So you don't need to have catalog of 100,000 SKUs or 1 million SKUs. You say I stand for my curated line and have a good selection, offer it to customers, give a great service, give a great experience, have things like maybe video calls and maybe personalized selling, personalized homemaking experience. I think if you integrate all that, I'm sure there are enough and more customers who are willing to look at curated platforms and they don't want to go to mass hyper platforms which are available currently.
Right, let's move to the next question.
Yeah.
Mr. Ranveer Gupta is asking if COVID has brought down businesses very drastically, just in case war takes place with China, how bad this will affect the businesses in our country.
I am sure it is going to be bad. But it's a very hypothetical question. In all practical sense, it is unlikely that we will have war. I think we'll have to. We are neighbors and we'll live with each other. So, and let's put it like this: I think all of us you learned how to survive. Frankly, eating food, sleeping on bed sheet, having a cup of coffee is not going to stop, irrespective of war or no war. So consumption is going to continue, even if let's say consumption was down by 30% in last quarter for a houseware category. What worse could happen? The life is going to go on with that. So you work with a reduced cost, reduce overheads, and still retain your margin. I think that's the way forward.
Right, sir. Another question. Mr. Rajiv Agarwal wants to know on super luxury segment of home products in India.
Yep.
Products like bespoke bed linen, made to measure, and personalized, hand embroideries, cushions, curtains, linen, etc. Uh, how do you see them doing as a product category in India?
So I think in the short term, Maybe little more challenges till the pent up demand is released, and I think there is a last fear with the consumer, and this could be maybe it could be 1 month to 6 months, not beyond that. If at the current rate, if I may say, in the long run, I think it's going to be a very good market. Even the luxury categories is going to grow, and not only in India, it's across the world. So I know of a lot of luxury brands which always thought that they would survive on apparel and accessories. They want to start home collection now. So that's going to be the trend. So even the top segment also will perform well in the times to come. Maybe not immediately, but very shortly it should start performing well.
Another question coming up is which one category other than your favorite bed and bath would you put your bets on?
I think there are a lot of categories which you can put bets on. But today, if you ask me honestly, uh, the demand for consumers, which is great and highly under catered, is starting from a small appliances, large appliances, durables for home, then maybe kitchen tools, kitchen gadgets, storage. And again, I will all add one caveat to it. Please do not just go to matured economies and go very expensive stuff at a low, very high price. What you need is figure out a cost effective solution, build a scale, and consumer may require 10 types of knives at home or maybe 10 other types of gadgets at home. So I think those are the categories which have great potential in the times to come.
Is it a good time to open a new showroom or a shop?
I think I answered that partly. I would say if anybody has a cash reserve, this is a great time to build a business because acquisition costs, customer acquisition and business building costs are going to be the lowest during this time because maybe rental, salary of employees, advertising costs, everything is going to be low. But I mean, of course, this is a very general solution, but you have to have a specific solution. What catchment, what customer, what size of business, etc. So I think you need to get into a lot of fine tuning. I mean, but in general, if all other parameters are taken care of, it's a good time.
Another question is from Mr. Aniket Deokar.
Yeah.
How impact customers as their living standards has changed? Like people are now getting towards daily needs. So how will the startup like me get customers? They belong to a startup company.
Uh, Aniket, I need to understand the category. So I would only say consumers have not stopped consuming. They're probably at 20, 30, 40% down, but that's not end of the story. I think world is beyond that. You need to figure out how do you service them and make them buy your products. I'm sure there's some way, but I need to get into a lot more details. What are the product categories? What are the channels of servicing? And how do you manage that? But if, of course, one good thing is that the simple answer is go digital and go aggressive. Why do you want customer to come and buy in the shop? Go where customer is, go to customer's home and sell. That's become so easy, unlike past.
All right. There is another question from Ms. Rakhi Saxena. Do you think that digitizing internally without planning, cost, and time management will add up to the overall cost?
I think so. What you are saying is right, but I'll give you one or two examples. There's one way you probably plan for 2 years and then start your project thinking that it's 100% right, but still you might achieve 90% level, but you are losing your valuable time. Other way to start is that you start with 10 learnings and keep on refining your experiment. Take a platform which is flexible to build over a period of time. Then you can start immediately within 3 months and move forward. I think right now the what you need to do is maybe more of a second way. I have seen a lot of my enough of my retail friends who are very perfectionist. They want all answers before they start something, and that has worked well for them in the past, and that is a good philosophy. I don't dispute that. But then is a you lose an opportunity which is in front of you for next 2 years. If you take too much time refining everything and then taking a call, I think probably you will lose a crucial time. At times, times like this will not come again. Okay.
All right. Probably one or two more questions. There are many more.
Sure.
Mr. Rajesh Satam is asking, with safety and health being the top concerns, how is the trend for special coating and finishes picking up post-COVID era?
So I think health and wellness product will do very well in general. If you can build a right product at the right price and communicate to customers across all channels of sales, it should do well. I mean, that's very easy. And you just need to ensure that your product is one part of it. All other aspects of business are taken care of. If that is being done, I think business is good. Yeah, Madhur.
All right, sir. Uh, I think let's take this question once more. That you've already explained this, but is it a good time to starting a new venture, a new shop, a new showroom for curtains, mattresses, or for general home items?
So I repeat what I said is what's the problem in new store? Let's put understand that. What are the challenges of a new store? First of all, ensuring the right product assortment is available and ensuring that right customers start visiting you, build a footfalls and build a loyal customers for the shop. These are the probably prime two challenges. And of course, there are third is operational challenges, whether your rentals are right, your salary costs are right, your overheads, marketing overheads are right or wrong. So I think if you look at all the three parameters, as I say, if a business was 100 earlier, it has become 70, assuming. My point is, if supply was 100 or 120, the supply has become 60. So you have still demand supply gap to take care of in a specific your category, what you spoke about. Be very conservative, but build a business. I think it's a good time to build business. If you have, I mean, obviously it goes without saying you need to have cash reserves because I think there's going to be a order of the day. Every company to survive needs a cash reserve to move forward. Yeah.
Right, sir. I think Mr. Roomta from our MD from HH India would like to add some remarks.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. I think it has been an amazing session. We have over 50 questions still on the pending list. So
Still
to
on.
me, success of a presentation or the seriousness of a presentation only reflects by the number of questions it evokes. So I will have to apologize to some of our audience, and some of the questions are really good that which have to be answered. I assure that, and Rajiv, with your permission, that these questions will be answered through email, because it is not going to be possible to take another 30-35 questions, more than that actually, which are still pending.
Sure, we'll do so.
So but I think it has been a great audience and it has been a great presentation. There have been some lapses. For example, there were requests for an address in Hindi, which we will try to address in the next presentation. This is my assurance to the audience, to the extent we can. Also, I think there were some disturbances, some technical glitches for some people in terms of volume, in terms of, so we will address. Please send in all your feedbacks. This was a very first presentation. I'll request everybody who's logged in that please send in your suggestions, your observations, and how we can improve these presentations. Because आइडिया तो यही है इसमें अंत में कि सबको बेनिफिट होना चाहिए, जितने मैक्सिमम लोग हैं वो जितने ज्यादा लोग समझ सकें, सुन सकें, उसी से इसका फायदा होगा. So I would like to thank all of you once again on behalf of HGH India. All of you know the dates of the show have been changed this year to June 8th to 11th, 2021. I'm looking forward to meet all of you there personally, but I'm looking forward in the meantime to more presentations on these kind of market updates. I'm sure you enjoyed this presentation by Rajiv, and it has given you a lot of good ideas in terms of how to take your business forward. And as Rajiv very rightly said, I think the key is to really stop worrying and start thinking. That is the key to success, and there is no model which is better than one or the other. I think all the models, because see, still all said and done, let's understand that online retail is still only 5% of the national retail even today. So offline retailers do not have to worry, and the organized retail is still only 14 to 15% of the total retail. So we still have 80% business in the hands of conventional retailer. It is not going to go away overnight. Correct me, Rajiv, if I'm wrong. It is not going to go away even in next 1 or 2 or 3 years. In fact, I can see more and more conventional retailers reinventing themselves and getting into a new approach to doing business. As Rajiv very correctly said, try to use your offline experience and integrate it with the online technology. And I think that is how the future looks like. And a consumer doesn't like, see, today it's like, we go to Google, we get 5,000 answers to every question. Does it solve your problem or it confuses? So it's something like that. Then you want to really go to a source which will give you only 5 solutions rather than 5,000 solutions. So that is where offline retail, in my opinion, will really come in very, very handy to all of us, to the consumers. So Rajiv, thank you very much for this presentation today.
Welcome.
And I'm sure that this has triggered people's mind, and we would like to take this forward in the next presentation and with your help as well. Thank you very much, and thank you the audience for being with us.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. A big thank you from the HGH India team to all the attendees for taking out time today. Once again, thank you, Mr. Merchant.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.
People are leaving.